Hey everybody, I started to say Sunday, but it's Monday. Um, Hope you've had a great holiday weekend. Before I get started, I've been reminded that I'm supposed to say the whole business aspect of it. I am trying to get this channel started, so I would really appreciate it if you are watching. If you feel so inclined, please like, subscribe. If you'd like to know when I post other videos, you hit the dark bell on the side and it'll tell you when I've uploaded something. Um, it definitely helps the channel to grow if you like and subscribe and comment and all those things. So I would really appreciate it. And so anyway, let's just have a little Monday conversation, post-holiday conversation. I'm sitting out here in the yard. Of course, it's humid. It's been hot as hell all day, and I don't like the humidity. I like warm, but I don't like the humid. So I've been sweating in places I'm not happy about. So I just got out of the shower, and I said before um, I try to go to sleep. Um, I would give you guys maybe a little bit of inspiration. I've been thinking about a lot of things this weekend that are going on in my life, or things that I want to be going on in my life, as far as the growth of this channel, for one. Um, this is a really important thing to my heart, this channel. And at first I was really afraid to start doing it because I love to talk, but I'm like, nobody's going to want to listen to this, and then I started thinking about it, and it was kind of like, okay, well, you know, I think, like I said in my last video, even if it only helps one person or just me, then it's definitely a beautiful and worthwhile thing. Look, the light between my hair makes me look like I have a little halo. Oh, I am an angel. So I digress. But sometimes we need to remember not only who we are, but why we're here. And sometimes over the years, that changes. I think the one thing we really have to remember is we're all supposed to be growing and becoming a better version of ourselves. And that's not always easy to do, because sometimes we let fear keep us from growth. Sometimes we let fear keep us from the place that we know that our higher power wants us to be. Sometimes we let fear keep us from speaking our truth. Um, like I was talking in a few of the videos, I went through a period of time in my addiction where I became a really, really, really good liar. And I would always justify it by saying that, well, I don't want to hurt anybody, or if I told the truth, nobody would understand. Um, or I just sometimes just did not want to take responsibility for my actions. And I think that it becomes sometimes, when, especially if you continue to do it, it just becomes easier. You know, it was easier for me to tell lies in my addiction, and I got really good at making them up. And then after a while, it was kind of like, nobody believes anything you say. You could say that the grass is green, and people be like, you're lying. you know, so we fool ourselves into believing that people actually are buying our nonsense. So, I guess my philosophy now is, as soon as I start meeting people, it's like I tell them my whole story. I met this young lady tonight, and it was like I told her at least half my story. It was like, I don't have any reason to lie, and I don't have any reason to hide. Although I'm not proud of a lot of things, I'm not ashamed of them anymore. Um, I'm sad that that was at one point my life, and I regret that those were the choices that I made. Because, although addiction is part of a mental bigger picture, um, it's still, to a certain extent, a choice to continue in it. And that's why it took me so long to finally say, I can't do this anymore. You know, I had to make that choice to say, I don't want to live this way anymore. When I was, you know, sitting in a bedroom drinking that half a gallon of vodka a day, and the only time I could get out was to go get more vodka. It wasn't even about, getting a buzz. It was just, if I didn't drink, I would shake, and it was all because I didn't want to feel any of the pain that I was feeling. And there's a mosquito biting me and it hurts. Or one of them fucking flies. Um, Sorry. But, you know, when I finally was able to, at least inside of myself, admit that you're gonna kill yourself if you don't do something, it was not, it didn't get easier, but at least at first, but it was this weight that started to gradually come over me when I knew that I had to do the work and I had to find a place where I could go and get help. Nobody did that for me. Nobody made those phone calls. Nobody sat in the queue for 2 weeks, as they would say, well, you're in the queue, Mrs. Conkle. It's like I finally had to say to somebody, I'm going to die if you don't get me out of this damn queue. And, it all worked out. Rehab was one of those places for me that I'll never forget the first night I went in there. And of course I went in drunk and high, and they take me to my little room and I sit down on the little twin bed, and it squeaks when you sit down on it. And I look around me, and it wasn't a bad place, but it definitely wasn't home, you know. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't belong here. And then very quickly I realized that, yeah, I did. I belong there. I belong there. And luckily, because I thought about it, I'm going to just call somebody and tell them to come and get me. But I didn't. And, it was day by day by day, and I started learning, and started watching the other females around me. Some of them were very young, some of them were older, and started watching them and seeing them, struggling and trying and struggling and trying, and the conflicts and the people, trying to get through their DTs. And yeah, there were some people that were there just for a bed, but then there were others of us that were actually there to get the healing, to get the help. And some of the women that helped us there, I'll never forget them. They gave us tools, and they showed us things that we needed. We needed somebody to have compassion. And I think that in general in life, I think that we don't have enough compassion for each other. I've said before that, people watched me as an addict. And not one of them until the very end, when a couple of my good friends started speaking up. But other people in my life, people that watched my marriage fall apart, people that some of them helped my marriage to fall apart, never once said, damn, Cindy, you need some help. Let's get you some help. Nobody. And you know what? It might not have made a difference in what I would have done at that moment, but it sure would have made a difference in me knowing that people cared. Instead, people just gossiped and talked. And your poor wife, she doesn't deserve that. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. And that's all I'll say about that. But, so before you just toss somebody away or make fun of them or belittle them or think that they're just a piece of shit, maybe offer a hand of help. Hey, do you need to talk? Is there something I can help you with? What can I do? There might not be nothing, but at some point, they're going to remember that at least you cared. So I think that allowing people to feel safe enough to speak their truth is a really, really big thing. And it's not always about addiction. Sometimes people just need to feel safe to speak their truth about emotions and feelings and fears and things that we've gone through in our life that make us the way we are and therefore then makes us treat someone badly. You know, if that person comes back and says, hey, can we talk about this? You know, your friendship is more important to me. Let's fix this. Let's try and fix this. Dive bomb. You know, don't ever be so proud as to say, nah, don't want to. Don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Quit your big cry bagging, feeling sorry for yourself, and listen to someone else for a change. You know, sometimes people hold stuff in their whole lives. When they're finally ready to say something, is that what you're going to do to them? No, you hurt my feelings. I know for myself I won't. And I do have a couple of people in my life that I really need to have that conversation with, but I can't force that either. So if you're in my life and you know that that's where we're at, you'll know I'm talking to you. And if you realize that, know that it's safe to talk to me. I'm not about judgment. I'm about understanding. There wasn't always a time when I was a very good listener. They have that saying, do you listen to hear or do you listen to respond? And I used to be one of those that, you know, the whole time somebody was talking, I'm getting my next line all ready, you know, where I got my comeback. And I started to realize that that's not the best approach in life. You know, it doesn't get you anywhere. So anyway, this video is too long. Most people probably won't listen to the good parts, but hopefully you will. And everybody have a wonderful week. Go out and do the damn thing. Be the best you can be. Be honest. Be truthful to yourself first, but to the people around you that love you as well. Because there are people that love you unconditionally. Doesn't mean we have to always like the way you act or the way I act, but there are people that no matter how I act, they love me unconditionally. That's a beautiful thing. So take care, everybody. Like and subscribe.